Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kristen's ASMR. I hope you're having a wonderful morning, afternoon, or evening, depending when you're watching this video. In today's video, I'm going to take you through my ranking of the Book of the Month books that I read this year. I started my Book of the Month subscription back in 2024, in February, but this is the first year that I'll have 12 books from January to December. I still have about 40 pages left of December's book, but I already know where I'm going to rank it in the story of the books of the year. So without further ado, let's get started. I'm going to do some tapping and scratching on the book, and then I will read like the little book jacket. Number 12, which is my least favorite book of the year, was Liquid, A Love Story by Miriam Ramani. And this was March's book of the year. Oh, this is March's book. March 2025. One of the things I love about Book of the Month is they're all hardcover, so fun to tap and scratch on. So, it's back in the book jacket here. So, for this book, a sharp and funny debut novel about a young queer Muslim woman determined to marry rich. The unnamed narrator of Liquid has always believed herself to be the smartest person in the room, and from an early age, she and her best friend Adam have turned their noses up at other people's riches. But as her career slows, she seems no closer to the middle-class comfort promised to her by the prestige of her education and the successes of her immigrant parents. Jokingly, Adam suggests she just marry rich. Taking this challenge seriously, she makes a spreadsheet and outlines a goal. 100 dates with rich Angelinos and a marriage proposal in hand by autumn. What follows is a whirlwind summer, martini sans vermouth with a lazy scion of a construction empire, board games with a butch producer who owns a house in the hills, and an evening spent dodging the halitosis of a maxillofacial surgeon from Orange County. Only an emergency that takes her to Tehran and an overdue familiar reckoning can alter her increasingly manic trajectory and force her to confront the contradictions of her life. As doubts begin to creep in about her marriage project, it suddenly becomes possible that the eligible prospect she's been looking for has been under her nose the entire time. Liquid delivers an edgy, riveting twist on the classic romantic comedy. So, as a rule, I'm not a romance reader. I do like dark romance, but I just kind of found myself bored by the story, honestly. It was kind of cool, the concept. The unnamed narrator, she keeps track in like a spreadsheet of her dates, and it's kind of cliche, you know, oh, love being under your nose after all, you know, someone you didn't really think about, you know, till the end. So without saying more, that was my least favorite book of the year. Again, that was number 12, March 2025. So book number 11, this was June 2025, Next to Heaven by James Fry. One of my favorite covers of the year, though. Kind of cool. This is the James Fry. Even in the book jacket, it's called America's Most Notorious Author. He's the one that, if you're not familiar, wrote A Million Little Pieces, semi-autobiographical. Come to find out, most of the things in the novel weren't true. So, but when I had seen his name come up, I wanted to check out a book by him. So, we have got this back in here. A razor-sharp plunge into a perfect American town, where privilege, sex, scandal, and murder lurk beneath a flawless veneer. New Bethlehem, Connecticut. Picture-perfect lawns, manicured ledges, multi-million-dollar homes. In this world of success, best friends Devin Kensington McAllister and Bella Hedges Moore seem to have it all. Beauty, money, status. But they long for something more. Something dangerous. Something that makes them feel alive. Their solution? A party. An exclusive gathering of New Bethlehem's elite. A desperate NFL quarterback, a demure housewife, a preternaturally sexy hockey coach with a penchant for married women, and a ruthless Wall Street closer who wields wealth like a weapon. One summer night, a whirlwind of secrets and betrayals, and a murder that will shatter New Bethlehem's carefully constructed facade. In this series new novel, James Fry demonstrates unflinching precision for the way men and women talk, think, love, hate, and hurt one another, offering a remarkable new view of the underbelly of the American dream, where money can buy anything until it ruins everything. Great description. This is just my number 11 book. It was kind of choppy. You know, it goes from, you know, the perspective of different characters, which I like. But I don't know, it wasn't, you know, when you find out who the murderer was, I guess it wasn't shocking enough for me. So, yeah. I mean, if you like the mystery, check it out. But again, that's my number 11 book. Number 10's book is You Belong Here. You see here we got You Don't Belong Here by Megan Miranda. This was July 2025's book. This blue and yellow. So, my number 10 ranked book. Memories fade, but on this campus, legacies are never forgotten or forgiven. A new thriller from best-selling author Megan Miranda. Beckett Bowery never thought she'd return to Wyatt Valley, a picturesque college town in the Virginia mountains steeped in tradition. Her roots there were strong, excuse me. Beckett's parents taught at the college, and she never even imagined studying anywhere else, until tragedy during her senior year ended with 2 local men dead and a roommate on the run, never to be seen again. The legacy of that fateful night has haunted her small town ever since. Nothing felt safe about home anymore, and for the last 2 decades, Beckett has done her best to keep her distance. Then her daughter Delilah secretly applies to Wyatt College and earns a full scholarship, and Beckett can only hope that her lingering fears are unfounded. But deep down, she knows that Wyatt Valley has a long memory and that the past isn't the only dangerous thing in town. A gripping mystery full of Megan Miranda's signature propulsive plot twist, You Belong Here is a thrilling novel that uncovers the true lengths we'll go to in order to protect the ones we love. Now, I did enjoy the book, but the reason it's ranked number 10 is just, there were just some books that I found better. It did have a cool twist that I didn't see coming, so I did like that. It's just, there was nothing that super wowed me, which is why that is number 10. Continuing on, my number 9 ranked book of the year is To the Moon and Back by Eliana Ramage, and this was September's book. first Cherokee astronaut, will alter the face of the people she loves most in this tour de force about ambition, belonging, and family. Steph Harper is on the run. When she was 5, her mother fled an abusive husband, with Steph and her younger sister in tow to Cherokee Nation, where she hoped they might finally belong. In response, Steph sets her sights as far away from Oklahoma as she can get, vowing that she will let nothing get in the way of pursuing the rigorous physical and academic training she knows she will need to be accepted by NASA and ultimately go to the moon. Spending 3 decades in several continents, to the moon and back encompasses Steph's turbulent journey, along with the multifaceted and intertwined lives of the 3 women closest to her. Her sister Kayla, an artist who goes on to become a social media influencer and whose determination to appear good takes her life to unexpected places. Steph's college girlfriend Della Owens, who strives to reclaim her identity as an adult after being removed from her Cherokee family through a challenge to the Indian Child Welfare Act. And Hannah, Steph and Kayla's mother, who has held up her family's tribal history as a beacon of inspiration to her children, all the while keeping her own past secret. In Steph's certainty that only her ambition can save her, she will stretch her bonds with each of these women to the point of breaking, and once betraying their love and generosity and forcing them to reconsider their own deepest desires in her shadow. Told through an intricately woven tapestry of narrative, To the Moon and Back is an astounding and expansive novel of mothers and daughters, love and sacrifice, alienation and heartbreak, terror and wonder. At its core, it is the story of the extraordinary lengths one woman will go to find space for herself. Now, I love space. Love anything to do with space now. The reason this is my number 9 book, I felt it was too long. I know it spans 3 decades. It starts when Steph, the younger characters in her teens, up through her 30s. I won't spoil if she does actually get to the moon, but I just felt bored sometimes. Like, the main character kind of made it hard for you to root for her because some of the decisions she was making and treating people. But I will say I do admire her ambition. But that is number 9. So book number 8 was October 2025's The Haunting of Payne's Hollow by Kelly Armstrong. So this was, despite this being at my number 8, this was a fun book from best-selling author Kelly Armstrong. Comes this nail-biting supernatural horror about a haunted lakeside property and twisted family secrets. When Samantha Payne's grandfather dies, she figures she won't even mention in the will. After all, she hasn't seen him in 14 years, not since her father took his own life after being accused of murdering a child at their lakefront cottage. Her grandfather always insisted her father was innocent, despite Sam having caught him burying the child's body in his clothing streaked with blood. But when she attends a reading of the will at the behest of her aunt, she discovers that her grandfather left her the very valuable lakefront property where the family cottage sits. There's one catch. Sam used to stay in the cottage for a month to finally face the fact that she was wrong and her father was innocent, according to her grandfather. After traveling to Payne's Hollow, Sam is faced with the realities of her childhood and the secrets kept hidden in the shadows of her memories. When her aunt goes missing a couple days into their stay, Sam begins to question everything again. Plagued by nightmares and paranoia, she hears sounds in the forest and see shapes crawling from the water as the rippling waves of the lake promise something unspeakably dark lurking just below the surface. Yeah, for number 8 book, I did enjoy this. It was a little bit shorter than some of my other books. It was a fun, like, Halloween read. I don't necessarily have anything bad to say about it. There were other books I liked better. But if you like a good supernatural element, I do recommend this book. It was kind of interesting to see what exactly, why exactly the arm went missing. So, I do recommend it. My number 7 book is Lightbreakers by Asia Gabel, and this was November 2025's book. This one is so fun. It reminds me of Pink Lemonade, the yellow and pink. I will say, despite this being number 7, this is love the subject matter. What would you give to relive the past? Maya, an artist, and Noah, a quantum physicist, share an insatiable curiosity about the world, but their marriage has a shadow over it. Serena, the child Noah had with his first wife, who died before she turned 4. When Noah is invited by the Janus Project to help unravel the secrets of time travel, he jumps at the opportunity. At a laboratory deep in the Texas desert, he begins participating in dangerous secret experiments. It could result in something he thought possible, something he thought impossible, seeing his daughter again. Meanwhile, Maya returns to her own past in Japan into a formative lover who once shattered her heart. As Noah and Maya grapple with hope and despair and the tensions between holding on and letting go, new information emerges that the experiments might not be what they seem. A heart-achingly moving novel, Lightbreakers plumbs the mysteries of human connection and explores how to love in a world where time is both a healer and a thief. Like I said, number 7, moving toward the middle, love the subject matter. It was a little heady at times, which I kind of knew, talking about time travel, which is why I think it wasn't ranked higher, but it was interesting to see both Noah and Maya going on their own journey, how messing with time and going back in memories can kind of pull apart some threads in someone's life, but an interesting novel nonetheless. So number 6, we're halfway, is We Who Will Die by Stasia Stark. This is the current book, December 2025, and I'm still reading it. One of the things I absolutely love about this book, it is one of 2 books I got this year that had special stamped pages, which is so freaking cool. I love that. I gotta remember to get, if I want the special editions, I'm gonna get them early. Those are so freaking cool. Yes, I am still reading this, but I wanted to make sure to record this in 2025. 2, it shows a map of some of the lands of this book. This is a fantasy book. It is part of a series now. I have said before, I usually do standalone books, but some of these concepts seem too cool for me not to check out, and I do plan to read the second book probably when it comes out. From best-selling author Stasia Stark comes the epic first installment of a new series set in an ancient Roman world ruled by merciless vampires. Life in the perilous Thorn District is a constant battle for Arvel and her younger brothers, and the vampire standing outside on her doorstep is about to turn the world upside down. Faced with an unthinkable choice, Arvel makes a magically binding vow. To do the impossible. Kill the Emperor, an ancient vampire created by the god Ambrose. But first she must enter the Sundering, an arena where only the fastest, strongest, and deadliest survive, long enough to be selected for the Emperor's elite guard. She quickly draws the ire of the Primus, the powerful figure charged with protecting the Emperor. But the vampire under the armor is the last person Arvel expects to encounter in the Emperor's court. With her brother's lives in the balance, Arvel has no choice but to ally with the man who once shattered her heart and win the Emperor's sadistic son, Rorik. Two vampires whose motives are impossible to pin down. Rorik holds the key to understanding the powers Arvel is developing, abilities that will put a price on her head if discovered by the Emperor. To survive the arena and complete her mission, Arvel must get to the bottom of a conspiracy that will change everything she thought she knew about herself and the two vampires who are deeply entwined with their destiny. So this is kind of the midpoint of the books. I do like vampires, so that's fun. There was one kind of twist I could kind of see coming, but that's okay. But yeah, kind of cool, like seeing some like fight to the death matches and stuff. So yeah, I'd recommend this book. Not too much to say about it. So we are moving on to book number 5, which is The Favorites by Lane Fargo, and this was January's book. This was a fun book. As we're getting into the top tier here, book 5. This was fun. So she might not have a famous name, funding, or family support, but Katarina Shaw has always known she was destined to become an Olympic skater. When she meets Heath Rocca, a lonely kid stuck in the foster care system, their instant connection makes them a formidable duo on the ice, clinging to skating and each other to escape their turbulent lives. Kat and Heath go from childhood sweethearts to champion ice dancers, captivating the world with their scorching chemistry, rebellious style, and roller coaster relationship. Until a shocking incident at the Olympic Games brings their partnership to a sudden end. As the 10-year anniversary of their final skate approaches, an unauthorized documentary reignites the public fascination with Shaw and Rocca, claiming to uncover the real story through interviews with their closest friends and first rivals. Kat wants something to do with the documentary, but she can't stand the thought of someone else defining her legacy, so after a decade of silence, she's telling her story. From the childhood tragedies that created her all-consuming bond with Heath to the clash of desires that tore them apart. Sensational rumors have haunted their every step for years. the truth may be even more shocking than the headlines. I love figure skating. This was a book that did span some time when they were teenagers, right on up through some Olympic Games. I enjoyed this. Kat and Heath, you know, they did make a really dynamic couple, so I do recommend checking this book out. Number 4's book is Silver Elite by Danny Francis. Love this book so much. Again, we have the cool specialty pages, which is awesome. This was May 2025's book. This is another one that is part of a series. I'm excited. May 2026 is when book 2 comes out. I can't wait to read it. This is my number 4 book. Like I said, love this. Really got sucked into the story. This would make a great next YA franchise, I think. And the first book of a Sicilian dystopian romance. Psychic gifts are destinies, and there are rules to survival. Trust no one, lie to everyone, and whatever you do, don't fall for your greatest enemy. Trust no one. Ren Dollington has spent her whole life in hiding, honing her psychic abilities and aiding the rebel uprising in small ways. On the continent, being modified means certain death, and Ren is one of the most powerful mods in existence. One careless mistake places her in the hands of the enemy, and she's forced to join Silverblock, the most elite training program. She's finally handed the perfect opportunity to strike a devastating blow from inside their ranks. Lie to everyone, but training for Silverblock can be deadly, especially when you're harboring dangerous secrets and living in close quarters with everyone who wants you dead. And whatever you do, don't fall for your greatest enemy. As the stakes grow even higher, Ryan must prove herself. But that's easier said than done when your commanding officers are ruthless and infuriatingly irresistible Cross Redden, who doesn't miss anything when it comes to her, and his war rages between mods like her and those who aim to destroy them. Ren must decide just how far she's willing to go to protect herself and how much of the continent is worth saving. Oh my gosh. Ren and Cross's chemistry is amazing. I love this book. I cannot wait for the second book. Yeah, I love psychic powers, dystopian future, factions, ranks, great book. Book number 3, we're in the top 3 now, is Every Sweet Thing is Bitter by Samantha Crewson. This was April 2025's book. Oops, sorry. of the violent past gets a chance at redemption in this upmarket suspense debut. 13 years ago, Providence Bird threw the family car in reverse and ran over her mother. Even though her mother survived, that single instant of teenage madness made Providence a felon and irrevocably altered her life. When her mother disappears years later under suspicious circumstances, Providence tells herself that returning home is her chance to find closure after a prolonged estrangement from her family. Never mind that this is only half the truth. She's also returning home to finally get her abusive father, Tom Bird. Nothing can stamp out Providence's certainty that he is guilty for whatever terrible thing has happened to her mother. As the search unfolds, Providence is haunted by the wounds of her past, none of which cut as deep as the distance between her and her younger sisters. Harmony and Grace are both uniquely scarred by the attempted matricide, and both have their own idea of what reconciliations might look like, if reconciling is even possible. Harmony urges Providence to make their father pay for his sins. Grace begs her to end the cycle of violence that has haunted her family for generations. As her thirst for vengeance collides with her desire to heal her relationships with her sisters, Providence must decide which she values more, revenge or redemption. Sharp and poignant, Every Sweet Thing is Bitter is a stunning novel that eschews picture-perfect endings and dares to tell a story about a resilient queer woman and her relentless determination to persevere. Top 3 book. This is amazing. There's a twist that I didn't see coming. I feel like it's a satisfying ending. Like, the power of family and ending abusive cycles. I'm a big fan. Big fan of this book. Big fan. Okay, so we are on to the last 2. Immortal Consequences by Ivy Marie is book 2. I missed out on the Special Pages edition, but this is the first in a series that I am super, super, super excited for book 2 to come out. This was August of 2025. Love this cover. How long this is getting, so we're going to speed this up a little bit. Welcome to Blackwood Academy, the legendary school located on the fringes of the afterlife. Once a pupil enters the academy's arched gates, there's no way out. Arched gates, except for the decennial, a once-in-a-decade celebration in which a single worthy student is tested and given a choice: graduate and join Blackwood's magical elite, or cross over to the mysterious other side. This time, though, the rules have changed. This decennial isn't a celebration, it's a competition, and there can only be one victor. 2 academic arch rivals, whose strange connection blurs the lines between obsession and hate. One girl driven solely by ambition, and another plagued by memories of the love she lost. And a charming playboy who never cared for anyone until he met the academy's newest student. Each of these 6 students has their own motivation to win, and their own secret to hide. But what none of them know, they aren't the only ones playing Blackwood's game. And if they lose, some fates are worse than death. Primo book. Ren and August, who are 2 of the characters in this book. The chemistry's insane. This is a book that follows several characters. It's done in such a great way. You kind of hang on the edge of your seat. The decennial competition is really cool. I love this afterlife theme. One of my best friends and I, we decided to do a book club with this book. Of course, they finished the book before I did, which was a little annoying, but we're gonna do a book club again when book 2 comes out. So super excited. That brings us to book number 1 of the year for me, which was February of 2025, The Bones Beneath My Skin by TJ Klune. Curious to see if any of this being February's book, if any of the other books would edge it out, and I just spring of 1995, Nate Cartwright has lost everything. His parents are dead. His only brother wants nothing to do with him, and he's been fired from his job as a journalist in Washington, D.C. With nothing left to lose, he returns to his family's small summer cabin outside the small mountain town of Roseland, Oregon, to try to find some sense of direction. The cabin should be empty. It's not. Inside is a man named Alex, and with him is an extraordinary 10-year-old girl who calls herself Artemis Darth Vader. But Artemis isn't exactly as she appears. Soon it becomes clear that Nate must make a choice: let himself drown in the memories of his past, or fight for a future he never thought possible. Because the girl is special, and forces are descending upon them who want nothing more than to control her. Amazing book. Like, aliens, love, fleeing capture. Amazing. I'm not gonna spoil it, but let me just say I highly recommend this book. It is a great book. Again, like, I love anything to do with space. The alien elements of this are great. The development of relationship in this book is just chef's kiss. So that was the ranking of all 12 books of the Book of the Month books. Now there is one that I got an extra book because my birthday month was July, The Amalfi Curse by Sarah Penner. I will just quickly read the description. I'm not going to take the book jacket off, but I did really enjoy this book too. I'm not ranking it because it was not one of the 12, but let's see. Powerful witchcraft, a hunt for sunken treasure, forbidden love on the high seas, beware the Amalfi Curse. Haven Ambrose, a trailblazing nautical archaeologist, has come to the sun-soaked town of Positano to investigate the mysterious shipwrecks along the Amalfi coast. But Haven is hoping to find more than old artifacts beneath the azure waters. She is secretly on a quest to locate a trove of priceless gemstones her late father spotted on his final dive. Upon Haven's arrival, strange maelstorms and misfortunes start plaguing the town. Is it nature or something more sinister at work? As Haven searches for her father's sunken treasure, she begins to unearth a centuries-old tale of ancient sorcery and one woman's quest to save her lover and her village, using the legendary art of Streheria, a magical ability to harness the ocean. Could this magic be behind Positano's latest calamities? Haven must unravel the Amalfi Curse before the region is destroyed forever. Against the dazzling backdrop of the Amalfi Coast, this bewitching novel shimmers with mystery, romance, and the untamed magic of the sea. This jumps between modern day and the 1800s. Strong female-driven story, witches. I really enjoyed that one too. But that will do it for today. That is my ranking of the 12 Book of the Month books that I have read this year. In the comments, let me know which book you would be interested, that you think you would read, if you could pick any of them. But I hope you enjoyed. Happy New Year to everyone, and as always, leave any video suggestions. But in the meantime, I will catch you all in my next video. Have a great morning, afternoon, or evening. Take care.